What is going on? I'm zmoT. We're going to do some stuff today with the most recent tribes. Rifleman damage is kind of interesting. Obviously, if you have low-level rifles, it's not going to do a heck of a lot. It doesn't make them better than Zookas, but it does make them more fun than Zookas, I gotta say. Now, we're still waiting for warships. We have 7 days, 14 hours left. We're still waiting for the fish to bite, waiting for the wind to fly a kite, all of that Dr. Zeus sort of fun. So what we're going to do here is we're going to load all of the rifles. Fastest way for me to do that is probably get started with a shared troop loadout. Now, my rifles are not super high level. Now, I believe there's some sort of tank tribe as well, but for us, we don't have access to that. HQ18, you only get access to 2 tribes. I would recommend upgrading the Fire Spike tribe first, just because you get more fun stuff. If you're one of those saber types that wants to focus on resources and stuff, then maybe go with the Spirit Dancer, but I have never had much luck with the Spirit Dancer. There's once in a while some good stuff, but there's almost always good stuff in the Fire Spike tribe. So what we're going to do is we're going to use brick, and we're going to see what we can do with some smifles, some smoky rifles on Dr.T. I believe today is Volcano. Yes, it is. So little bit further to go on the Volcano, obviously. So with the, what's the other one called? Tropical, you're kind of all condensed in one small area, whereas with Volcano, there's usually a lot more space to spread out. So that's going to work out well for us on the first couple stages, because all of our troops are just going to go everywhere they want to go. We're going to pick up easy finish on stage 1. Now, we lost some troops there because obviously we're just letting them wander. Don't really care, because we got instant reserves once again, instant training, whatever you call it, endless reserves, instant reserves, there's a new one, just combining the 2 terms for it. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, instant training used to be called endless reserves not that long ago. I kind of assume anyone who's playing at this point remembers that moment, but I guess it was a little bit confusing for people. Endless reserves wasn't a super great name because it didn't immediately tell you what it was doing, I suppose. Everyone always asks how I get instant troops, and it's not a super big, there's a button that does it. So I guess some people just don't click all the buttons in the game. I highly recommend clicking all of the buttons in boombeach. There is hidden stuff all over the place, so anything you see, you should click on, essentially. I know that sounds a little bit odd, but just click. If there's anything in the game, there's boombeach is not super UX optimized, user experience optimized. There are a bunch of hidden things that you have to kind of click on to find yourself. I'll show you a few of those in a moment. Let's just get back to our island here. So, for example, the fact that there is where are we at here? In here, on the sculptor, if you click on your fragments, you can obviously convert them to shards. Apparently, a shard converter is coming in the next update, whenever that might be. But if you didn't know that, you're never going to find that. So, clicking on things helps you in that instance. Same thing with your radar. Click on the possible invasion. It'll tell you what your percentages are, as far as if you're at 17% or 14% chance of invasion. As you can see here, I'm not going to get an invasion because I need to clear my map. So I'll have to do that later on. But you can see in there, on the cannons, for example, if you click on the little flame there, you can see what their damage per shot is and how long between their shots. So I don't know how they could make that any better, but I feel like with boombeach, you have to kind of click around. Same thing in here. See, clicking, it shows you what their actual damage per shot is and time per shot and all of that sort of fun stuff. So click around. You will not be disappointed, or maybe you will be disappointed. But I find that clicking on things in boombeach, you kind of have to just poke around, and it's not super obvious, and it's not a huge deal. It's not like you're missing out on massive life-altering features or anything like that, but it would be nice if they were a little bit easier to find, especially your radar percentage. Knowing what your radar percentage is and how you can affect that really does affect your gameplay. So if you do PvP, that is. As you can see there, I don't generally do PvP on this account, so it doesn't really matter, but it for a lot of people out there, it would make a difference to be able to know that sort of stuff. And people, I mean, it would also be nice. Oh, one more thing I should probably show is just you can see there are some stats on your defensive lists. I'll show you that in a second here. Let's get up into here, get our troops running. Smokey rifles have a little bit more health than Zookas, generally speaking. Obviously, it depends on what level they are and stuff than Zookas, but I think my rifles are level, I want to say 12 or so. We'll check that in a minute. I did not upgrade them all that much. Reason you should upgrade rifles is because they work really well with Zookas and medics and cryoneers later on in the game. Let's check in here. So if you actually click on here, it'll take you to your daily summary, show you how many times you've been scouted, how many times you've been attacked. So I was scouted by one player, and they were too afraid to attack me. This same player probably right about here. So you can see how often you're scouted. It just kind of like breaks out those things on the left-hand side, which is kind of handy. Let's keep going up. I know if you guys see anything that is new for you, please do let me know. And at the same time, if this is all review and this is a waste of your time, also please do let me know, because I don't really know my audience a lot of the times. Sometimes I'll say something and like 6 people will comment saying I had no idea that was a thing, and it will take me completely by surprise. So at any point, if you hear anything that is new and exciting and would like to tell me about it, please do let me know, because I really, really do like those sorts of moments. Let's get walking. This is going to be ugly, but thankfully our rifles have a little bit of decent health amounts. And we're going to go like this, trying to keep some of the troops alive. Brick managed to stay alive. We're going to flare back, because otherwise they're going to walk out of the smoke. Oh, that's not a flare. That is a smoke. Oh man, this is ugly. Am I missing the corners or something? This is not going super, super well at all. Trying to keep my troops alive and just failing miserably. I don't know if this is going to work or not. We're going to find out in about 3. I think we're going to die. Just butterfingers all day long. Let's get a med kit out, because we're going to need it in a couple seconds here. Wow, that was really, really bad. Just watching our troops get pummeled and not throwing flares, throwing smokes instead. We are still pounding away rifles and their little bit of health they have. Maybe Kavan would have been a better choice here? No, that's not true. Kavan is basically never a better choice once you get past. Now, to be fair, Kavan is a great choice if you're like XP level 34 or something like that. Someone was asking me yesterday what the best hero is for like XP 34. In that case, Kavan is probably the case. Get Kavan, get some warriors, but once you get into like the real gameplay, and I don't know if that's a fair word or phrase to use, real gameplay. Obviously, the low level stuff is real gameplay as well, but like into the like higher levels, and just Kavan needs to get put away. He is a bum and just not worth using. It's kind of fun to try and solo a base using only Kavan, but that's, again, novelty stuff and silly and ridiculous. And let's get all of our troops hopefully walking, as I'm trying my best not to incessantly tap on the smoke button. But as you saw last time, had I have been tapping on the flare button, we would have been doing probably a little bit better. We should be able to take this down now that we can throw a flare instead of a smoke. We're going to come back out here in a moment, and hopefully that should do us. Might as well throw a shock back here too. Need to throw a med kit. Oh, I'm going to fail twice on stage 4. I can't even believe it, but we're going to save a little bit of GBE and see if we can just grind this out. It's going to be very, very, very close, but maybe, just maybe, we can grind out a nice little win here. Let's get battle orders on top. It's going to be very, very close yet again, because I am just not clearing mines and not paying attention. Riflemen can obviously take a mine better than a Zooka can, but my riflemen are pretty low level. Let's check out what level they are here, because it just feels like I am in need of a quick break from attacking, because that was very, very bad. Stage 4. We got level 12 riflemen. That is why. Let's have a look at the riflemen and see exactly how much health they have. They only have 295 health, so that's pretty darn good compared to my low-level Zookas here, but just not all that super useful. And so when you're using RZM or RCZM or whatever it might be, the key indicator, as far as I'm concerned, now please do correct me if you think differently, is you need your rifles to be able to take a mortar to the face. If your rifles are not high enough level that they can't take a mortar, you're going to have a hard time. What we're going to do here is we're going to drop all of our rifles into here just to give them a chance to group up, because rifles take a long time to get off their landing crafts, and by doing this we'll be able to let them group up, which should help us smoke them a little bit better. Then we're going to let them seesaw a little bit. Then we're going to walk over here just to get them folded. I like to fold my troops. I don't know if there's a better term for what we're doing here, but I like to call it folding, just because you let some of them start walking in one direction and then you flare them in another direction, and I find that it works very, very well as long as you're not super late on your smokes. I feel like all of my buttons and things are not responding super well today. Maybe we can blame that on iOS today. I find that I just updated, there's 7 different updates for iOS in the last week or so. Went from iOS 13 to 13.1 to 13.1.2 to, just updates every couple minutes at the moment. So we're going to blame it on that. Whether we need to blame it on anything or not, I don't know, but today just feels like I'm missing all of the things. So hopefully we can use our free snipe action to get this stage 5 down. We're having a tough time. We're having a tough go of this stage. Rifles are more difficult than Zookas to use. If you can smoke a rifle, you can smoke a Zooka. Rifles do not stay underneath one smoke very nicely. They also move a little bit quicker, but their extra health kinda helps. Now let's just make sure I actually boosted that. Yes, we did. Let's get rid of some of this extra resources. If you're wondering why I have all these resources, because I never get rated. As you saw here, the lower your VP is, the less frequently you get rated. So that's why the idea of ice or blue statues at this level makes 0 sense. My last raid was 12 days ago. If I had ice, it would have been completely useless for 12 days, just wasting space on my island. So that is the reason why, if you're below 500 VP especially, seeing ice statues is just so painfully bad. Now, could we take this out with rifles? Probably, but this video has already gotten a little bit long in the tooth. You already have to wait for Season 4 of Warships. You should not have to wait for Stage 6 and 7 of Dr.T. Shots fired there a little bit. Let's just get into this general area. I'm going to try and walk on a 45-ish. I don't really know where 45 is, so I can't say it's going to be 45, but I'm going to try my darndest to get into a 45-degree angle, and then just try to get behind the core. I'm thinking that there's that one mine that I'm going to need to clear right about there. And then I think it's somewhere about there to be on a 45. Now with Zookas, always please do try to walk on 45s. It will make your life so much better, your attacks so much better. You'll meet more women or men or something. I don't know. But just trust me, it's going to be better. I promise. Let's flare in there. We'll shock and shock and shock and medkits and see how much more damage the Zookas are doing for us there. It's just, we had the delay, and having the delay gives you like an extra 2.5 seconds of just pure unadulterated fun and damage and goodness. So, now, by the way, in my video yesterday, no one yet has told me what they think besides PR speak for the warships. Why do you think the warships are delayed? Someone said it was because Apple and Android rejected their app. Someone else said because the update is delayed. Someone else said maybe there's only one person working on boombeach and they're sick. I can tell you, I have met the boombeach team. There is a full room of people. I don't know what the actual number is, to be completely honest. I would have guessed it's somewhere close to 10 people. but it's not one person. I wish they would do like a meet the team sort of thing, because I feel like people, whenever they hear that Supercell has small teams, they think that means there's one person on the team or two people on the team. Supercell does have small teams, yes, but their teams are fairly substantial still. Boom Beach had way more people working on it than I ever would have guessed, because of that whole small team thing they like to throw around. The team is fairly large size. They have a good number of people working on Boom Beach. It's just, they like to say small teams, and it's kind of to their disservice at this point. I wish they would do a full meet the team where they'd show everyone who worked on the last update and do that AMA they've been promising, tell us 6 math works, all of that sort of stuff. Boom Beach, if you're watching, hopefully you're not watching, hopefully you're working on getting warships out in time, but let's get some AMA action, get you guys a little bit more screen time. Maybe you don't want screen time. Anyways, that's it for me. Dr. T, all of the 7 stages, using some of those Spire Spike rifles. I do miss it when it was 60%. It was 60% to start with, and it's been 55% ever since. Why? I don't know. But everyone is just waiting to quote that Dr. Seuss poem one more time for all of you parents who read books to your kids. That's it. That's all. I'm zmoT. As always, thanks for coming in. Talk to you soon. Peace.